Hello, Matt.
Yo, hello, my friends. How are you?
I'm Dandy. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
It's nice to be doing a Saturday evening podcast.
It is. I feel like we're just like doing it, different days, different times. We're just sort of experimenting, aren't we? Just trying it out.
Seeing where the air takes us. I tell you, I've got a question though, Matt.
Yeah, mate.
What time do you reckon it might be in Australia right about now?
What's that? About 7 o'clock in the morning, maybe?
Oh, yeah.
Try earlier.
Oh my gosh.
I think it's about 6 o'clock in the morning, right?
That is offensive. That is so bad. That's so early. I'm so sorry about this.
No, it's worth it. It's worth doing this with you guys.
Oh, mate, we are overjoyed, quite frankly, to be joined by our friend Leigh. Leigh, hello, welcome.
Thanks for having me, guys. It's a pleasure being here, and thank you for the invite. And it's been great chatting with you guys since we started talking on Instagram.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you run a podcast yourself. So tell us a bit about your podcast, mate.
Oh, how much time do we have?
60 minutes. No.
Done. Let's go. So I got, my podcast is called Lights Camera Rant, and like it's basically an unofficial Marvel podcast, basically, and I basically talk about Marvel movies, TV shows, video games. It was completely born out of being in COVID lockdown and couldn't do anything except buy a mic off Amazon and drink.
Woo! Amazing. So we thought we'd hook up with Leigh and do one of our first wildcard, Matt.
Yes, it is. Oh, I'm excited. So we are delving in to Deadpool today.
We are. But before we do, I have got a drink. I've been going about drink all week for a specific reason because I've been very excited. So we might remember from an earlier podcast. I mentioned. So I have a friend whose partner, he owns his own brewery in Kent, right? Whitstable Oyster Company, but he also has a brewery sideline to that. Now, this isn't one of his drinks, but he gave me a drink. Specifically told me to have this on the very next podcast I do. Right, here we go, lads. It is Goosebumps lemon and slime.
Whoa.
That I'm just looking at that. Just leave that there. That's so it's got a green ghost, like a gobbly green ghost.
Yeah.
It's got a Goosebumps kind of like the kids show Goosebumps.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got that kind of edge to
Traumatized
it.
you.
Oh my god, didn't it? It was so scary as a kid. So scary. That looks awesome.
Even the opening intro to that show was like, this is creepy as.
Yeah.
Like old kids TV shows are like they are another level of like it wouldn't be allowed. It just
No.
it outrageous. I've got to open it because there's something special about this drink, right? And but I've got no nails and I can't open the fucking thing. So so Matt and Leigh, whilst I do this, what are you drinking? What are you up to?
Okay, so I can't beat that drink. That drink looks amazing, but I could probably go close. I've got a Tango sugar-free dark berry.
Ooh.
Check me out on a Saturday night, guys.
Yeah. This is how I run on a Saturday night.
Yeah.
So Leigh, what have you got, mate? Because I can't imagine you've got alcohol, or have you?
Look, I would wish I did. I think the earliest I record drinking is 9 o'clock in the morning, because I had a guest who was like, "You're gonna have a drink with me?" I'm like, "Yeah, here I am," and not leave the house. No, unfortunately, sadly, I just am drinking a double espresso coffee to try and start this early in the morning. Unfortunately, cocaine was not on the table, so I just had to go with coffee.
What a
Just
shame.
get started. Yeah.
Is cocaine allowed in Australia? Just casual cocaine?
Yes,
or?
as I wink.
Oh,
I
very
bet you,
loudly.
I bet you, without a shadow of a doubt, there's a certain superhero that might sponsor a cocaine-based drink, and that would be Deadpool.
What a blast, lads! What a blast!
What a film! Honestly, so I haven't seen Deadpool in a long time. So it came out in 2016, and I honestly don't think I've seen it since then. And I watched it yesterday evening, and I honestly, this is a first for the podcast.
Oh.
This is an almost perfect movie, in my opinion. I loved it.
Big words, Leigh.
I honestly say I can't remember the last time I have watched it. I can definitely say I've gone and watched this one more than the second one, but when watching it, I just thought to myself, I'm like, fuck, we actually got this. They actually greenlit this, even though, the fact that the only reason we got it because they leaked, someone, not Ryan Reynolds, leaked that test footage, which sparked the outrage. But just from start to finish, even they didn't have that big budget, they still fucking nailed it.
Yeah.
Big time.
I didn't realize. I didn't even know that. Leigh, you told me the other day, didn't you, about this whole footage that was leaked? Like, I didn't even know that was the origin of this film.
But I get that sense that when you're watching it, it is that kind of. It feels like we're given a treat. Like, this is special. There's something really special about the movie. Like, it's something very true to what the fans wanted and what the fans wanted from a Deadpool movie, and it just delivered tenfold. It's just brilliant.
100%. Like, that is Deadpool from start to finish. Even the creator, I'm 9% sure there's a comic where Deadpool does rip off. It's a recent comic, but it rips off his mask, and see, I don't look as good as Ryan Reynolds. But Ryan Reynolds did such a good job with his character. Even the suit. The suit is so accurate. And he stole it too. He walked off set and took it home. Like someone else was like, "Oh, I got to give it back." He's like, "Nope, bye."
It is a masterpiece. I think there is that would be my word for it. I think there are so many things that it does well that other films within the MCU really struggle with. I think, although first and foremost, and I bestowed this honour to Leigh, but Leigh's like been pretty much petrified about this moment. But I am fully excited, Leigh, for the synopsis of this film.
Oh, yes.
You're looking at me like you had no clue what I was about to bring up there, but can we have the warm Australian tones deliver this synopsis, please?
Oh, all right. Warm Australian tone. All right.
Here we go.
All right, let's go. All right. Wade Wilson is a former special ops operative who now works as a mercenary. His world comes crashing down when evil scientist Ajax tortures, disfigures, and transforms him into Deadpool. The rogue experiment leaves Deadpool with accelerated healing factors and a twisted sense of humor. With help from a mutant allies, Colossus and Negasonic Teenage Warhead, Deadpool uses his new skills to hunt down the man who nearly destroyed his life. Mate.
Oh, do you know what? I've got to say, Leigh, that was the best one I think we could ever get in terms of the summary. Forrest, You're sacked, mate. You're
All right,
sacked.
mate. All right. Leigh's going to come in every week, just deliver the synopsis, and drop the mic and walk away. And I love that. I'm all about that.
That's good. As a summary, I feel like it uses the right words in terms of how graphic the movie's going to be, like disfigured, like it has the right tone of what the movie is in the summary quite nicely. So I think that's quite an eloquent one, actually, in terms of a summary. It's quite good.
Well, I thought that too. I thought that's actually not too bad of like a summary, because like the other ones that you've done for other Marvel movies have been so vague, written down. I'm like, that's so loosely based on the plot that's pretty much that's to a T.
Yeah. 100%. And he, although I am interested, they went for Ajax, not Francis.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued for that.
Straight to the villain.
Where?
Yeah.
God, that was for a entire year, wasn't it? Where's Francis? Like, you saw those memes everywhere.
Yeah, and and I think so. Like opening of the film, first few shots that we go back to, so we see it in slow mo during the credits. Credits, by the way, I've got to give a shout out to. I love just everything's not done like in a normal, natural way. So I love the fact that we haven't got actors' names, we haven't got character names. We've just got what Deadpool, like we imagine Deadpool to call everybody within the film, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, even the director, douche director, and he is, because he doesn't come back for the sequel.
So true. Yeah. Yeah, and and just those shots, and I think they kind of, I suppose, from a Marvel perspective, you could say, kind of brave that they just went bold from the output that this is R-rated, right? They didn't try and disguise it at the start of the film, warn people in, and then like they were just like, right, we're gonna go full hell for leather, like this is what this film is.
You know, you were straight into the action, weren't you, from the offset with that kind of action sequence, and it sort of then plays with time shifts as well, so doing some flashbacks, getting a little bit more about kind of Wade Wilson's kind of character, sort of backstory, and I really liked that, because and this is probably one of the reasons why I think it's nearly a perfect movie, is that how it was paced, because it is an origin movie, effectively, but we are coming in at a point where he's already established as Deadpool, and he's still in that kind of first kind of phase as developing his superhero-ness, I suppose. But like you get this kind of origin story whilst we also are being thrown into a point where it's technically the second act of the movie,
which I think is done really well, because it's not like your typical origin story from start to finish. Like you're thrown into the action straight away, and then the origins like driplets all the way through the movie, and the fact that we get the fact at the very start, boom, he breaks the fourth wall.
Yeah,
like that's not delayed. That's straight away.
But what I like, because I had a controversial thought a couple of podcasts ago, Leigh, that Matt was not happy with, which was breaking on the fourth wall within a TV or a film setting. I'm not a big fan of at all. In fact, I kind of despise it. However, in Deadpool, I would say that I think it's A, the nature of the character, but B, it is done so few times, and when it is done, it's purposely done. Like there's a reason for it, right? It's not just right. This is gonna be a common theme, so we're just gonna keep doing it, which I feel like She-Hulk kind of got into, which was like it just done for the sake of doing it, whereas this felt very purposeful.
Yeah.
I
was gonna say I agree with the She-Hulk.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like it's established immediately. you know it's kind of coming because that's kind of the nature of what Deadpool is. But in the comics, it's what the nature of She-Hulk is as well, arguably as well. But it's done in a way, I don't know. There's something about Ryan Reynolds, isn't it? I suppose there's something about the performance that he just absolutely nails, and he understands it, and he gets the character. So you're on board with him immediately, and again,
straight away.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it's I think that's brilliant. I think like we alluded to, I think one of my favourite things is the pacing of the origin story. Like this for me, I felt really nails it in terms of the villain. The villain was part of the origin story. So therefore, we're not looking at 4 different stories in one film. It's actually all part of the same puzzle. And also, that villain, although he does feature throughout, I would say actually the main part of this film is to establish Deadpool, right? Is to bring Deadpool into the frame for future films, whatever. And I think what's brilliant is that we get to enjoy this origin. Like it's not a rush through. And I think Spider-Man did it well in a sense that we didn't. Well, it kind of parked the origin really because we'd already had an origin like many times. So I think for me it's you either make a full film out of the origin and you don't just put it in the first 10 minutes, or you omit it completely because we know the story. Right?
Which I still love the fact that they Marvel did that with Spider-Man Homecoming. I'm like, and they just got straight into it. Like, we don't need to see Uncle Ben die again. I don't need to see get bitten by a spider again. I don't need to hear all the lines again. But see, with Deadpool felt such a refreshing origin story to me. Like, it didn't feel so black and white. No. Like, oh, something with your parents. Oh, something with some family member. Like, no, you were a dick from the start.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, he's not your cub or cut out of a superhero kind of character. He is an arsehole. Like he is somebody that he could easily be a villain. You know, he could easily be a villain. And you kind of see in that kind of origin, kind of backstory that he was, he's a mercenary, he's a hired man, ex-military, dishonorable discharge. All of those things lead itself to villainy kind of in a way. And this is the thing, Ryan Reynolds does it so well, is that you go, this guy's hilarious. I'm so on board with him. Yeah.
I don't care who kills people. That's fine. Like, exactly. I'm on board. Yeah.
Yeah, dismemberment. Yeah, it's fine. That's cool, man.
Yeah, exactly right. I need to see this more often.
Sorry, guys. Sorry to just change the topic, but I'm just about to have a sip of the Ghostbusters drink. Oh.
Whoa.
It's green.
Oh.
It looks like Shrek piss.
I can confirm. Oh, that is.
Oh my god.
That is. Oh my god. I've gone on about 4 journeys. That you get starts with lemon. So
Okay.
very strong bitter lemon. And then you get a limey kick straight after.
Whoa.
Okay.
That is a feast and a drink. Sorry to completely change, but that is a Charlie and the Chocolate Factory feast in my mouth.
Woo! I kind of felt like I was there with you when you were like ingesting all of that.
Just your face. Just like.
It's only 4.2 as well, so I can have a couple of these. No problem at all.
Goodness. Right. Where can we buy this beer?
Where can you buy this beer? That is an extremely good.
Did the person that gave you that tell you?
No.
How much is importing going to cost me?
Yeah, well, it's a product of Scotland, so could be cheap. It could be more expensive than England. Who knows, Leigh? Who knows, mate? But yeah, anyway, Ryan Reynolds, great.
Right, what are your favourite bits? Leigh, have you got any favourite bits in this movie?
I Oh, geez, where do I start? I do love, which I think of a lot of people, was that opening car fight on the freeway was one of my favorite parts. Just the fact that you go to see him in action, you go to see the fact that you basically get introduced to the character, and I do love the fact that he's like, "Oh, see, nobody got hurt," and a dead body comes off the back.
And the sound as well, the sound of that's got a squelch as it comes off the sign and just whacks on the ground. It's great.
I do love it. I think it's towards the end when he's fighting like the other guards. He's like, Bob, Wade, yeah. Oh my God, what are you going? What are you doing? Like, just stops the fight just to say hello to this guy, this old friend. But then obviously, Dualpender, all the scenes with Dualpender were also really good.
Honestly, so we usually go through the characters, but I'm just going to I'm going to say it now. He is my favorite secondary character in this movie. Dualpender is just so funny, and the fact, and as well, I think it might have been his second or third scene that he's in towards when he goes and he kidnaps his cousin, and he has him in the trunk. And
Who's in the back?
He's in the back. He's like, oh, Dualpender, why did you do that? I'm so proud of you. Oh, you can't believe you did this. Oh, God, that's so great. It's so good.
What does Mama June taste like on Sunday morning in hot yoga pants? Awful. It's terrible.
I like straight whilst we're talking about comedy moments, I think honorary mention for Stan Lee being in a strip club.
Oh my God, yes.
Wow, I mean, like R-rated film, Stan Lee goes, I want an R-rated character, please. I want to be in that strip club.
What an absolute G. What absolute G. I completely forgot that happened for Stan Lee, and I was like, "Oh my God, Stan Lee!" Like our hailed father, Stan Lee, is in a strip club.
Yeah. What's funny is like I actually saw a post the other day that was like someone complaining, Stan Lee wouldn't stand for all this stuff with She-Hulk, and then someone's comment was like, "We literally saw a cameo of him in a strip club. What do you think he's going to stand for?"
Oh my God.
I wonder whose decision that was. I wonder if that was either Ryan Reynolds going, Stan, you're going into a strip club, or Stan Lee was like, if I'm in this, I've got to be in that strip club. I feel
like he would have been like, yes.
Yeah.
I'm in. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. Because I don't know. I imagine Stan Lee would have been quite excited by the fact that they felt that they could go into R-rated territory, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like, and it was hilarious. It worked, completely worked. It was brilliant. But yeah, it was, but I think going kind of that nature, I was like the sex scene. I was like, oh my, I forgot about the full on sex scene. I was like, Jesus Christ, we are this for Marvel territory. Oh my God, what's going on here? Most we get is She-Hulk twerking. That's the most we've had, right?
Happy Women's Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, it's quite interesting you say that for us because it made me realise how kind of carefully packaged and almost sanitized the MCU movies are. That it's so of course you're not going to see that kind of stuff in the MCU because it's got to be for a family audience, right? Generally speaking, but like the moment they went to that level and had that kind of montage of like say happy Halloween, happy Lent, happy Women's International
happy
Women's
Halloween.
Day, like all those moments you're like, oh my God, this is still going. This is it's interesting. It did make me realise kind of MCU kind of have cleverly yet carefully very much tailored everything to a certain type of audience that they want to target. And this was
there's only been one sex scene. And there's only been one sex scene in Marvel, and even that was subpar.
Oh, yes. Oh, no, don't mention the movie. Don't say it.
When was it? Which one? Hang on, wait, what one?
I'll let Leigh say it.
It was the Internals. And it was only for like a couple of seconds. And honestly, I don't know why you would have sex in the desert. Or
You
like
missed this for
on a
us.
whole bunch of rocks.
Sex scene in a desert.
Yeah.
I am. I've
Yeah.
had to erase that entire movie from my brain. But who the fuck has the sex in the desert?
It's like a bunch of rocks. It's like they're going hiking or something, and that's what they do. I'm like, that looks
It's
most uncomfortable.
who is it? Is it fake? It's fake Superman and the other one. I can't remember the names.
Well, she's hot though, but
Yeah.
he just looks.
I'd
He
say
just looks
I'd
like
go
Bucky.
away and find it, but I'll look like a weirdo if I just
Well,
go away.
Yeah, please type that into Google, please.
Eternal's
Eternal
desert sex.
sex scene. Oh no.
Oh my god, he only 2 minutes in the 3-hour movie. Yeah, anyone doesn't want to see.
Yeah.
Jesus.
But you're right. Like that whole montage is meant to be like a year. Like they do that. Like it's meant to be just 12 months, isn't it? From when they're meeting. And what's funny is that when I forgot the bird's name.
Vanessa, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first time I saw her, I was like, oh, it's the chick from Stargate and Firefly.
Yes.
And I thought, yeah, she did that. She did the role of Vanessa very well. Like she wasn't a typical, what do you call it? Like damsel in distress.
No.
Like especially what she did with Big Gandalf.
She's fierce, like absolutely fierce. I think she played the role brilliantly as Vanessa, and I think in terms of, yeah, I mean, Ryan Reynolds said it in the movie in the beginning. It is a love story, effectively, this origin sort of film, and I think she plays it so with like tenacity. Like she fights against everything as much as possible, and as well, as the film progresses, her character progresses quite nicely as well. She isn't kind of like in the first act, and then we don't see her until the end, until she gets caught. There is kind of bits in between.
I Met Your Mother.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like that, literally that. So yeah, I think she did great. I think going back to kind of the sex scenes, but like after the sex scenes, sorry, not to like hyperfixate on something, but go back after the sex scene, please. But one of the reasons why I really love the movie is that comedy is done at its best when it's played in the middle of tragedy, and obviously what happens with Wade's character is that he meets this amazing girl, he falls in love with this girl, they have the best year, and obviously the most sexually active year of all time. But like they then boom, straight then he's hit with an aggressive cancer. It's kind of, that's it. You haven't got much time, and they have to deal with that, and that's a really serious thing to put into a movie. Like you can't dick about with that. You can't be really you can't just throw it away. If you're throwing that in, it needs to be played well. And and this is both to Vanessa and Wade Wilson, both those actors, just the way they played that moment and those moments, such drama. Then the comedy becomes way more rich. It sort of for me, it becomes not just like a cathartic in a way, but like it's used against this real genuine, quite sad, theme and sad storyline. It plays so well. Yeah.
Well, like continuing from that, like even when they're in the doctor's office, even that's sad. A very real moment, because he says that Vanessa's thinking of plans A, B, C, D, and E, and he's like, I'm just trying to remember every detail of her face.
That's heartbreaking.
And then you're right. Like that's just coming off the back of him hiding a wedding ring in his asshole to propose to her. Exactly. And then that's the flip scene 2 minutes later.
And can I that scene with the with the ring, but that whole scene, what I loved about it was that when I first saw it at the cinema. Now, obviously, I don't have any prior knowledge of the comics or whatever, right? And I don't even know if it, how similar it is or whatever. But that scene, I remember thinking, oh my god, there is about to, like, when he goes for the piss in the room, I'm like, there is literally about to be a gunshot that goes straight through the window into her head. I thought in the background it was going to be like a really dark moment where we just see her die. So, or him attacked or whatever, because the way they build that whole scene up, there's a load of windows in the background. It's like, you know what he's been up to. So I was kind of like, oh, are we gonna get like a really hardcore scene here? And then obviously he passes out and he finds out he's got late stage cancer. But I thought that was quite nice that, like. And I don't know, like I say, comic dependent or whatever, but if it wasn't that, and they could have gone for that option, that they almost like flipped it in the sense that actually it's not, him starting his origin wasn't based on heartbreak or wasn't based on, it was actually, his own body and his own self. And the Vanessa thing kind of then takes like a bit of a backward seat for a while. I quite like it.
And honestly, naturally, with that kind of massive bit of news, it drives the story forward in a kind of, not like, it's not like, someone's died. Like, this is the thing, if Vanessa at that point got shot in the head and died, okay, so he's a heartbroken man that's going to seek vengeance.
Yeah,
been done before, right? Like, that all kind of stuff's been done before. But in this case, it's a very, sadly human thing that people go through. So, so it becomes something that's way more resonant than just your standalone origin story.
More relatable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Completely.
Yeah.
The first gripe, I'm going to say, first gripe in the movie, and this shows you, right, how good this film is, because this gripe is fucking tiny. But there is a scene where it's the first scene post, he's just come out of, he created the explosion after he's been turned into Deadpool, essentially, right? The explosion happens, and then he goes to see Vanessa, right, for the first time. And he's walking down the street, and he sees Vanessa, and then he gets lots of people going, ugly face, ugly face. Ugh. That, for me, it irritated me because I felt like it made the audience feel a little bit stupid, right? In the sense that by him walking down the street, just looking away, looking down, looking away from, or looking at Vanessa about to go, and then him kind of thinking about himself or looking at himself, and then walking away. For me, an intelligent audience member, which the vast majority are, would have put the two pieces together, or him just looking at other people and getting paranoid, right? Whereas this whole kind of stream of consciousness of people going, oh my God, have you seen him? Oh my God. It's okay, two people would have done that, right? But the vast majority would have shut the fuck up and either completely ignored him because there's other shit going on, or said it much later on.
Yep. Completely agree. That was also one of my gripes as well. Just so you know.
Not everyone would have looked up and gone, "Oh shit."
Yeah. It feels like, for me, that feels like such a PG moment of the film, and I'm like, it's an adult film, so just let the intelligent viewer.
It was, and it was played quite dramatically as well. So, like, I wonder whether they could have, put in a more comedic kind of lines. Like with his Wade's mate says he looks like if an avocado fucked another avocado, like stuff like that. Like, I wonder whether that should have happened during that bit as well. I don't know, but that bit was so funny in its own right.
You're hideous. I could knock it out of my head. Captain Deadpool.
Captain Deadpool.
Captain, that was great.
Yeah.
The other thing. So this was not a gripe, but just a comment that I saw. Right, that I wrote down. I didn't see it. I wrote it down. But I said I wish that the X-Men had been agreed for Marvel before this film was made. Because could you imagine how much, like, not to say that they would have been in the film or the film would have been made any longer, but because they would have been able to thread so much better. Because they would have been able to go, right, these are the actual actors, these are going to come up in other films, we're going to use Deadpool, right? That would have been excellent for me.
The intention wasn't it, for it to be part of that X-Men universe, wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah. Because it was meant to be Deadpool 2, and then they were going to make the X-Force, which I think more X-Men were meant to be in that. But obviously they got cancelled. And then you got the cameo in Deadpool 2, which almost they still didn't have all the X-Men in Deadpool 2 either.
Yeah, X-Men is the most teased fucking like part of superhero universe in any compared to anything else. It's always teased because for some reason like someone's been canned or agreements haven't been had, or I don't know. It's a very bizarre, like it has a very bizarre nature about it. I always feel X-Men.
Yeah, it's not had a good track record in film. You know, I kind of hate to see what the X-Men would still be going if Fox was still going. You know, and people will be like, "Oh, Deadpool will be so much better out of the MCU." But I'm like, you can't tell me you're not excited for him to be in the MCU and get to meet anybody or anybody's on the table. But you're right. Like, we got Colossus and Negasonic Teenage Warhead, which even Colossus still looked different to the X-Men version.
Yeah.
He was a lot thicker.
He kind of in this, he personality wise, it's kind of like Korg. Do I mean Korg? Yeah. Do I mean Korg? I mean,
you mean
Korg.
Taika Waititi.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, it's a very core character for me, right?
I think there's lots of sort of like comedic moments out of naturally Colossus is I don't know. I get the sense that Colossus can be taking himself quite seriously as an X-Men, and I think in this movie we get lighter shades of Colossus. From what I know of the character, I don't know much about the X-Men, but in terms of Colossus, I think there's lighter tones.
So Leigh, who is your favourite main of the leading cast? And it can be actor, actress, whoever you like, and supporting.
Supporting is definitely Dolpender. I feel like he was the unsung MVP of the movie because he didn't charge Wade, and he could still continue that in Deadpool 2. He was still a good supporting. But, besides the main cast like Vanessa and Wade and all that, I still think that Francis, the guy who played the bad guy, did so well. He was a general dick the whole time, and in the movie just completely builds up that you want to see Wade straight up kill him. And I think he did so well, the character and the actor, like to be the antagonist.
I agree with that because when I first watched it, I went, oh my God, did I enjoy his performance or not? I immediately started thinking whether I liked his performance or not. That as the movie got along, and especially to the scene where he takes Wade into the experiment and he just completely goes through all of those torture tactics and he keeps saying, say my name. And he just like, what an absolute arsehole. Like he plays that kind of school bully to a ridiculous level. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like it just... so antagonistic and just so flipping annoying. You kind of hate him for that a lot. Yeah.
And that's the thing. You hate him too. Like you wait for it so much for Deadpool to kill him. It's like, what's my name? Oh, I'm going to fucking spell it out for you.
Such a good ending to that. Like to that motif that keeps getting used. I love that. But Matt, what about yours, mate?
Well, Depender is definitely, as I said earlier, my favourite secondary character. I'm gonna keep forgetting to say her name properly, but it's Warhead. Negasaki? Was it?
Negasonic Teenage Warhead, which
Negasonic Teenage Warhead. Yeah,
I think she got it from an album. I think it's an album. It's from a band or something.
So good.
Yes,
Or a band named their album after the character.
Oh, wow.
Like that.
I think
she was good.
I think she was great, and I actually for a character that doesn't naturally speak that much anyway, and with the few lines that she did had, she played the role really well, and the relationship that she had with Wade and it's Deadpool, it just kind of worked really well. And the moment where she went, "Yeah, you're cool," and like Deadpool's like, "Oh, I'm cool," like just the reaction to that is so good. So I thought she did really well with the role. I think TJ Miller as Weasel played well, but TJ Miller plays TJ Miller. Do you know what I mean? In everything I've seen him in,
it's the same.
It's the same.
I think for me, I think supporting cast, Weasel's my favourite. I feel like that. It's just a very good dynamic between him and Deadpool, and I think that worked really well. And I like the kind of bar scenes that they share together, where Wade sends the fucking shot over, causes a whole fight, and I like their relationship in this. So I feel for me, that Weasel would definitely win supporting. I think a bit, like I say, big shout out to Marina Baccarin, who plays Vanessa. I feel Vanessa here, like we said earlier, Leigh, just incredibly well. Really, like, not just your average, I love you so much, oh my god,
what are we gonna do?
Damsel in distress. She like kicks some actual ass and is very funny as well. Really, like, brings a nice level of comedy to match Ryan Reynolds, I think. Actually,
let's talk about Ryan Reynolds, each of us, because I'm interested to see what you all think about his performance and his depiction of Deadpool. So for me, the reason why I kind of like it is on that kind of same level as much as I really enjoy Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. There's something like RDJ and Iron Man were meant to be. Like, you can just see in terms of the personality RDJ has against what Tony Stark has, and it gels. And there's something magical about that. Roles of a lifetime kind of situation. You've got that with a few actors in other roles as well. Wolverine, exactly. Yeah, Hugh Jackman. Like, you genuinely cannot think of anybody else playing that role. And
no.
So with Deadpool, with Ryan Reynolds, it just kind of feels the same. There's something about, again, Ryan Reynolds as a person, bloody brilliant comedic actor, really great dramatic actor as well. There's a tragic and comedy element to Deadpool. There's something that really, really gels in there. So I can't see anybody else playing Deadpool. So I think he's, on legendary status on that.
Yeah, I think absolutely, like, couldn't imagine anyone like to fill those shoes more than Ryan Reynolds. I think what was always good about Ryan is I feel like he's at his best when he has a certain level of creative input into these projects, and you can very much tell that he's had creative input, and he's able to improvise and use his own lines, and he's incredibly gifted actor anyway. I think some of his stuff has a danger of rolling into one, so although flip side of the creative input is that the very nature of him having creative input is that sometimes it feels very much like this is the same Ryan Reynolds character, this is the same, like, yeah, exactly, the Dwayne influence. And so that would be, I think that would be my only thing with Ryan. But it was and the other thing that I wrote down was how fucking ripped is Ryan Reynolds a bit like in this film.
Oh,
Jesus Christ. The t-shirt at the beginning is like hanging off of him, and you can just see where he is so toned on it. I'm like, Jesus, Ryan, mate.
I'm going to have to fight this guy naked. Yep, I'm ready to go. I'm going to make sure I'm ready.
Yeah. Yeah. He's read that script and gone, right, I'm going to have 5 personal trainers for 12 years, and I am
Yeah.
working solidly.
Do you think the day we get like Deadpool and Thor facing off, do you think the
Oh my
internet will
God.
break?
Internet broke with just him just having Hugh Jackman in the background
It
going,
did.
"Yeah, okay." Like that was it, and the internet just went nuts.
That was crazy.
Um, and yeah, I'm so excited for him to be in the MCU. Like it's just gonna be nuts. But I agree with you on Ryan Reynolds' performance as Deadpool. He did a fantastic job, and I think a big thing is the fact you can see how much passion and love for the character comes through. Like you're right, like he does. As good as Ryan Reynolds is, he does kind of have that Dwayne Johnson effect when he goes into different movies, But I feel like Deadpool's almost like a hypened version of himself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Like someone's turned up Ryan Reynolds that a little bit more, and both even going back to the arguably terrible X-Men Origins, he still brought it in for the few scenes he had when he was actually Deadpool then as well. He was the
Yeah,
most annoying person in the room.
yeah,
And he continued on with Deadpool 2 as well. His performance in that, you can tell with both like RDJ's Iron Man, Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, that their performance, you could tell their passion through it.
Yeah.
Do you think, Leigh, because you say about bringing Deadpool into the MCU, do you think that there's going to be like a bit of internal struggle there, where if Deadpool is ever featured in a film that's not R rated, like how that's going to be? Will that will it have a major effect on the character if he's not not able to express himself quite with so many fucks and shit?
I think I know a lot of people have been worried about this, but I feel like you can still have Deadpool in those movies, but and still do it in a very creative way where he gets bleeped and he doesn't know why he's getting bleeped, and he's like, "Oh, this is not my movie. Oh,
That's
I
quite
guess
cool.
I can't beep beep."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, and
so
actually, like if he does like one of his kind of talking to camera, but actually the camera's facing a completely different character, so you just see him in the
Yeah.
background, like talking into
Ridiculous.
the air. It was so
even
good.
so, he goes to, "Who are you talking to?" Oh,
Oh, for
never
fuck's
mind.
sake!
Yeah, that's right. It's not my movie.
That is such a good idea.
I
But I think you're right. I think that's exactly how they'll play that with Deadpool in the MCU. Because this is the thing, like it's different with Daredevil. So Daredevil's Netflix show was so gritty and it had that kind of sort of, gory edge to it. But the character was played so seriously. There was no fourth wall break. There was little to kind of bring that kind of gritty edge into what is, a kind of Disney-fied version of the MCU. So, and now we're getting this kind of, Disney MCU version of Daredevil. As great as it is to have, Charlie Cox back playing the role, unfortunately, we're getting that kind of sanitized kind of edge to it.
Yeah, I thought I thought that if you watch the end of season 3 of Daredevil and then watch She-Hulk, I still thought like you could still arguably say it's still the same character. Like that hallway scene, he was still just as brutal. There's just no blood.
Mm.
Like he still cracked their necks, bashed their skulls in, and all that. I guess the main thing is, I think a lot of people take away from the last Deadpool is that he's not as depressed.
Yeah,
Like
not as,
season 3, he was depressed the entire time, all the way up until the end.
yeah,
But you
not
actually see
brooding.
him,
Yeah,
yeah. But I think still Deadpool will be able to kick ass, and this with Kevin Feige. At the end, Kevin Feige is a fanboy just like all of us. I saw an interview a couple of weeks ago, and someone said to him, "Oh, we see the X-Men in 10 years," and he's like, 10 years. You want to wait that long? I don't want to wait that long. Like, he's a fanboy at heart.
Yeah.
I think if he had the choice and everything lined up, he would bring in the X-Men tomorrow.
Yeah.
We're
We're in good hands. I need to. I'm in the process, Leigh, of sort of getting my love for the MCU back, and I think because I feel like I teetered at the edge of being one of these disgruntled MCU fans from being like, oh my god, it's never going to be as good as Endgame, and like Phase 4 has. It sort of threw me into a kind of loop a little bit, and I know for a fact because you've just seen Black Panther, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I obviously we're seeing it next week, so we're going to get a chance to talk about it soon. But I think once I see that, I'm going to feel a little bit more rejuvenated. But I just need to remind myself that K-Dog, my lovely K-Dog. I do love you and I do appreciate you, K-Dog. All right. So I just want you to know that I'm in the process of getting round to it, but I know we're in safe hands. We're in safe hands, K-Dog, and I appreciate you. So I just needed to get that message out. Is that all right? Yeah.
What I love there is Leigh coming in as a newcomer there and totally not knowing what the fuck you were doing there for the first fight.
No, so I'm just like nodding. Okay, personal. You had your head down.
I could see Lee's either not heard those moments from previous podcasts or just didn't know that you would be ducking down quite for one of those moments there.
No.
And what was even better is initially I didn't capture the first K-Dog, so I just heard you say "I love you" very closely, and I was like, "This is for 30 minutes of podcast. This is a very intimate, intense moment for Matt."
I know the big man. I know the big man K-Dog's listening. He's always listening.
But yes, yeah, I think, and also Matt, we said. And Leigh, we said the last time, I can't remember if this was within the podcast or outside of it, but we realised that the next Avengers film isn't until the end of 2024, right?
Yes.
So it is a long way off, and that actually, if we go way back like we are doing, we're going through the films. When in Phase 3 ahead of Infinity War and Endgame, if you take that same time period way before those films, we didn't have a fucking clue where it was headed. So it is gonna. No. They've got loads of time.
No, and that's exactly right. And what I've been saying is, like, I completely understand when someone feels disgruntled about Phase 4 and think it's not going to be as good as Endgame, and like, trust me, like, I'm right up there. But like, what I keep reminding myself is the fact that it's MCU's kind of back at day one again, because there's no Avengers, there's no teams, there's no Shield, there's no Avengers Campus, there's no big pillars in the MCU. Everyone's scattered, and I think a big thing that looking on Phase 4 will be, almost like post-depression Endgame. Because if you're looking back, a lot of the stuff, it's just been sad, or it's all been ramifications from Endgame. And I've just been telling people that, you just got to remember, it's got to build up again.
Yeah.
It's just got to reach that point where it's good. Because, if they had an Avengers movie next year, who the fuck would be in it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But it still doesn't defend how shit Eternals was. I'm just going to say that.
No,
there is no defense for how bad that movie is.
No, I can't defend that.
It is a big bag of dog shit.
Yeah.
Someone just whacked in our faces for 2.5 hours and thought it was acceptable.
You'll pay for this, won't you? You'll still keep coming back.
Yes. You see a massive fist in the fucking ground raising to the entire fucking planet that never gets mentioned again and no one ever sees.
They did it, She-Hulk, I think.
Did they?
But it was only like she was reading a newspaper.
Yes.
Said, I think, there's a giant head, and I think that same newspaper said, local man with claws gets in a bar fight.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah,
Amazing.
but no one cared about the head. I only cared about the local man with claws.
Yeah.
I get the internals. Yeah, I didn't really like the internals. Looking back on it, I would go back and watch Black Widow before I go watch the internals, because I get what they're trying to do, but I don't know if the execution was really there. Like, who's going around going, I can't wait for internals too? Like, you're more waiting to see the Black Knight and Blade at the after credit scene than the rest of the characters.
Yeah. No, 100%, 100%. What? Yeah, I suppose. Well, just wrapping up Deadpool. So, what were your final thoughts, Lee? What are your final thoughts regarding Deadpool, mate?
My final thoughts would be, I think this will be a movie that people will constantly come back to a lot more than Deadpool 2. It's a good watch. It deserves to be one of the highest grossing R-rated movies. And it will be one of those movies that when you look at it, people will say, because it doesn't have the constraint of the MCU, because it didn't have the constraint of the full X-Men universe, we got this niche pocket of this movie, which did so well, and surprised Fox, because Fox thought it was going to fail.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want a good laugh and you want some blood,
yes, please.
What's fun?
Yeah.
Matt?
So for me, I honestly loved it so much to the point that I almost was like, if somebody went to me, okay, do you want to watch that again? I'd in a heartbeat go, yeah, sure.
Done.
It was that good. The pace of the movie is sharp. It is the storytelling, the narratives. There is depth. There is layers within the characters. There are plot points that are driven, that are paid off. We have a unique origin story as well with Deadpool. The blood, the guts, the fact that it's not tied to any kind of like big studio that could easily kind of go, oh, you can't do that. It was delivered for the fans, and it was perfectly done. Yeah, it was great.
100%.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And also, I feel like a broken record, but 1 hour 40 minutes. 1 hour. 1 hour 40 minutes film, and it was brilliant.
Yep.
Right, it got through it quick, nice and quickly. Did the job. Little bow tie, job done. No film needs to be over 2 hours. I'm just gonna repeat that, right? Doesn't need to be over 2 hours.
What about the Batman? That was 3 hours. That was fantastic, right?
Yeah, but the Batman had a lot more like a lot more grievances for me than this film did. And even pacing of that, I think at times there were scenes that you were like, cutting room floor. I'd give this a little cut.
Yeah.
This could just be a mention in another scene rather than a whole scene dedicated towards it. Whereas this film, I don't think there is anything in Deadpool that you would remove other than him walking down the street and everyone going, "Oh my god, have you seen that?
Maybe,
oh my god, have you seen him? Oh my god, he looks
a burn
so
victim."
awful." Yeah, a burn victim. Oh my god, he looks. His face is making me ill. He's taking me off of my corn dog. Put it away. And it's just like, okay, there's no need for it, mate.
I now wish that Ryan Reynolds casted you, Forrest.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Just one person in the background, just going
Have you do you two watch Modern Family?
Oh yes.
I haven't watched in ages.
There's a scene with it reminds me of the scene with Cam and what's the Colombian's character's name?
Sophia, that's
Yeah.
her name, but she
Oh my god, what is that?
Oh
my
God,
what's her character?
this is
As
so
soon as you
classic.
say it,
Her character, anyway. Her character
Yeah.
and Cam.
I need no. Wait, I need to know.
yeah,
I can't be dealing with that. My brain just went into a. You must know this.
What the hell?
I bet, dear listener, I bet you're shouting right now at us. I bet you're
Yeah.
going, oh,
you guys
it's
are
that.
idiots. It's this.
What are you doing? You've ruined the podcast.
Oh my God.
Gloria.
Gloria!
Oh my God, there we go.
Oh, well done. That only took us 20 minutes. Gloria and Cam, right, are hired in as extras for a scene. You remember this? And they go in the background and they've got to pretend they're eating in this restaurant commercial. And you just see them in the background go, and literally that would be me in this scene. It would like seeing Hunchback of Notre Dame for the first time. Oh God!
That's your actor training coming in there for us, isn't it?
That's it. Leigh asked about that before the podcast, so there you go, Leigh. You got
Yeah.
a free piece of acting on you.
Oh, thank you. I feel privileged. Actually, you know what? We totally forgot to also mention about Blind Owl.
Oh yes.
Blind Bird.
Blind Owl.
We forgot her and Angel Dust.
Jesus.
Oh yeah, of course.
One
Gina,
tit
is it
out.
Gina Carano, isn't it?
Yes, who unfortunately stuffed up her career or not be in season 3 of Mandalorian.
Oh
Yeah.
shit! Yes. Yeah. Oh my God! Is that who that is?
Yeah, she got cancelled, didn't she?
Yeah.
Wow, Gina, that is the same Monday. Yes. Yeah. She. What was that about? She had some very controversial.
There was anti-Semitic comments, I think, in
That's
Twitter.
it, yeah.
I think.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
interesting.
I just think to myself, like, my opinions, or I get to star in a space Star Wars show, Bounty Hunter, next season. Yeah,
I
my
mean,
opinions.
You literally.
Yeah. Shut the fuck up, or don't shut the fuck up and lose your livelihood. Oh yeah. Classic.
Yeah.
Classic.
No, I'm going to tell
Easy
everybody my opinions. It needs to be heard.
yeah, I tell you what's missing in the world is my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah. I need to express it.
Yeah. Twitter is not full enough, so let me just add this little nugget.
And then lose my role.
Oh yeah. So okay. So but yes, Blind is Blind Owl. Leslie Uggams.
Gams?
Gams. Great surname though. Like loving that. Blind, but yeah, Blind Owl, absolutely incredible character. Like, and quite a but yeah, I suppose. Because I wonder if is the actress actually blind in real life.
Well,
I'd be intrigued.
I doubt it, but
So.
interesting enough, the chick from Hawkeye that's deaf is actually deaf and actually does have I think a prosthetic leg too.
Oh wow! Oh, that's that's good.
Because I felt terrible because I was like, oh, that's really great CGI, and then I was looking up
Oh no! Oh no! Yeah. No, that's good. Yeah, it's just almost. It's always accessibility. It's kind of there's definitely blind actresses out there that could have absolutely played that character.
It's really interesting, isn't it? Because obviously that was 2016, and the kind of the front view of representation and accessibility and representation in film wasn't quite there, was it really, in that point until quite recently? So it's interesting how much of a recent thing actually that has been. Yeah.
So sorry.
I was going to say, I don't know how, going side point, I don't really know how Daredevil and Echo are going to talk to each other. Because one's blind and one's deaf.
Yeah.
How are they going to talk to each other?
Oh wow. And they are in the same show, aren't they?
They're going to be
They're
in the
going
show
to be in the
coming
same show.
Wow.
That's interesting. There might be something in there. I don't know. I don't know. Daredevil might figure something out,
somehow. But
unlock another like power
sensor.
of some sort. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Because I thought about that too. I was like, how are you going to talk to each other? But
Wow.
but yeah, Blind Owl was good. She was good in the movie. Like for just not a major part,
Mm.
like she nailed that. And I really hope that she's back for Deadpool 3.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I think that'd be great, and I think that'd be fun. And do you know why? Do you know actually, Lee? Perfect little scene that should be in there. Deadpool 3. We know that Wolverine's there. We know that poor Blind Owl has been trying to put together a little set of drawers. Right? How funny would it be? Wolverine with his fucking claws trying to also help her with the cupboard.
that's funny.
I would pay good money for that
That'd be
scene.
good.
For her to go,
Yeah.
oh, Deadpool's got a friend, like, because obviously, she's blind, so she wouldn't know that straight
doesn't
away
know.
necessarily. So she just goes, "Oh, Wolverine, could you help me out?" And he's like, "Yeah, no worries, no worries." He's just absolutely dents it. Yeah, I think that'd be great. That'd be fantastic.
A question for both of you. Out of Blind Owl, who else would you like to see appear in Deadpool 3?
Oh my god!
Like full theory. Obviously, we're getting Wolverine, and I don't think, Matt, I don't think you were here before, but I was saying how Morbius is rumored to appear in Deadpool 3.
Oh really?
Owen Wilson. I think because Deadpool's obviously still going to have the time jumping device.
Oh, that's cool.
So it kind of makes sense at the time Authority, the TVA, would be trying to hunt down Deadpool.
Oh my god! What
But
if we
yeah.
got like America Chavez, like just like rolls up, like through like a her time jump as well. Like she just kind of finds herself in
Oh, that'd be
that
cool.
world as well. That might be pretty cool because that could happen as well. And then maybe
Yeah.
Deadpool makes the joke of, well, why are all these teenagers? Why am I surrounded by teenagers all the time? Like there could be something in that. Yeah.
You got cooler powers than me.
Yeah. Yeah. What? You can teleport for different portals with a star? God's sake.
We're definitely in the MCU now.
Yeah.
I would John Krasinski, please. I would love for him to feature. Have that although I know that's Fantastic Four actually, isn't it? But
He's
I'd
spaghetti.
quite like to have that. He is spaghetti, but in one universe.
That's-
Now, if they're jumping around in different universes, maybe it's his time to come back. But here, where does Deadpool 3 relate to Fantastic Four? Is Fantastic Four out by that point?
No.
Don't
No,
think so.
it comes. No, Deadpool 3 is still before
Let's have a look.
Yeah, I was gonna say you made me check now. I think it's still before because Blade pushed everything back.
Yes,
Because
yes, it did.
the
yeah,
director it pushed everything back.
Yeah, it did, didn't it?
Which would be annoying. But yeah, I think Fantastic Four still comes out after.
Yeah.
But
Because that would be interesting if someone features just to set
Yeah.
that up.
So yeah, Deadpool's 8th November 2024. Fantastic Four is February 14th, 2025.
yeah,
It's massively away.
I know.
It's their planet so far in advance. It's madness, isn't it? Really.
It really is. It really is. And you think it's Secret War, we've got all this and there's still going to be, Disney Plus shows amongst everything else in between that. And then what the hell are they going to do after Secret Wars?
Oh gosh, yeah. But there's still there's a lot of narrative that needs to be told. I think, like we were talking about the fact that they if they did an Avengers movie like at the end of this year, God knows who'd be in it. So there's lots of journeys, lots of threads that need to be played, and I think that's something maybe that I'm not used to. Maybe we are not used to as MCU fans. We're all not used to. We're we got used to this kind of movie after movie after movie after movie, but now we've got to wait for quite some time for this, next Avengers movie. So there's lots of storytelling that needs to be played.
I need to find out more about Harry Styles. I need
Oh,
him to return to my screen.
Don't.
We don't. Yeah, but that's
no one's clamoring for that.
That is coming round, though, guys. Whether you like it or not, him and the little troll are going to make an appearance some point.
Don't remind me. I just love how everyone's like, "You're Thanos' brother. Why don't you look like the bald sack chin man?"
Yeah.
The other thing, sorry, just Deadpool. So just two thoughts. One, really, I thought it was a massively class move at the end of Deadpool for the end credit scene, for discussing the second film, but also the take your garbage out with you, like so taking your litter out of the cinema. I love that. I love when they do that. Just from a there tends to be a lot filthiest people in life seem to go to the cinema, and I don't know why it happens, and I don't know how it happens, and I don't know how their houses look, but fuck me, they treat a cinema screen like I'm surprised they're not just shitting in there. Like it's a joke, mate. Who needs to do that? I thought that was a bit of a touch. That's nice.
It's actually funny you say that, because I saw Wakanda Forever last night as we're recording this, and there was 12 to 14-year-olds in the cinema that kept moving, kept eating, and I've never wanted to hit a child so much. Not repeatedly, which both me and my mates started debating on how many 10-year-olds could we take at once that were running at us. Like, how many could we take?
Leigh, do you watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
No, I've seen bits and pieces. I need to watch it.
There's a bit where Charlie and Mac just absolutely take out a bunch of 10-year-olds on a bike, and it's just brilliant. Like, they actually kick the crap out of them. I can only imagine you and your mates doing that.
Yeah.
That is.
But you're right, just filthy.
I don't understand it. I do not understand that. But and also I'm flying about left, right, and centre. But your question, your earlier question, Leigh, about Deadpool 3, another person, feasibly, I reckon, Loki.
Oh
yes,
because if they're going to be going back to the Loki series anyway, but fucking, could you imagine scenes with Loki and Deadpool?
That'd be amazing. So fucking good with
Tom
Tom Hiddleston and Ryan Reynolds.
And I feel like that would unlock Loki's potential, because I feel like actually if you could take an R-rated approach to that character, his mischievousness and stuff actually might play into that.
Yeah. Yeah. And there could be kind of moments where he realizes oh my God, I can do this. Like, he could get into some really shady shit. And
I feel like he's kind of still at that point, because we all have to remember that he's fallen in love with himself. He wants to bang his own variant.
That is something that needs to be addressed, isn't it? It really needs to be addressed. MCU, what are you? K-Dog, got a question? What are you getting at there, mate? Yeah. Forrest, you haven't given us your final thoughts on the movie, dude.
Final thought? An amazing movie. Just fantastic. Very incredibly well paced. Incredibly strong characters. I feel like for me, this is kind of it takes me back to that Spider-Man Homecoming, where I really feel like this is a film that Marvel have had in the oven for such a long time, evidently, because loads of stuff got leaked and then had to make anyway. And I feel like it's been in the oven for so long that by the time that it's come out of that imaginary oven and been put onto the screen. It is absolutely incredible. I know you're enjoying that metaphor, Matt, all right? But it is, it's been incredible. And that's, for me, was Spider-Man Homecoming, where for so long they couldn't do a Spider-Man film. They knew what they would do with it if it could be done. Once the agreements had been set, there you go. And just incredible.
So Leigh, we rate all of our movies out of like the contents of a bag of crisps. Out of an amount of crisps that you can get in one bag of crisps, how many would you give? How full is it, Leigh?
I would say it's a very rare occurrence. It's actually a full bag.
Yes.
It's which usually never happens, and you're like, oh, half a bag of fucking air.
Exactly.
So true.
But no, Deadpool. The first Deadpool is a full bag for me, and it's one of those. I think a testament to a movie is how many times can you go back and rewatch it.
Yeah,
definitely,
big time. I completely in agreement with you there. Mine is like it's almost like full to the brim. Like almost, maybe you could get a couple more crumbs in there, maybe one more crisp just to land on the top. But it's like brimming with crisps.
What would you change, Matt, to make it, to put that extra crumb in?
I'd put you in it, mate. On that sidewalk bit. Oh my god! Look at his face, like all like that, and then the crisp will be overflowing. It'd be overflowing.
Yeah. Nice.
What about you, Forrest?
I think for me, if I can park aside that scene, like the grown up I am, then I feel like actually, I've got to be with Leigh for this. I think this is a completely full bag of quavers.
This is a first,
an incredible film. It's just like you're not looking at your watch at any point, like how long is this going to take? You are
like any Transformers movie.
Any Transformer. And it's just pacing is great. The origin's exciting to watch. I like the character. I love the supporting cast. The joy that the creative team have had making the film is evident when you watch it, and it's just pleasure, start to finish.
Mm-hmm. Big time. And see, this is the thing, like, so we love the movie so much, so the next wildcard movie for us will be, in fact, Deadpool 2. So I'm interested to see, what we'll be thinking of that as well going forward, because again, same thing, I haven't seen that since it came out.
Well, if you guys are happy to, and if you do it on another Sunday morning, I'm happy to jump onto that one too, if you need a guest.
Oh yeah, I feel like it's only right because you've been here for Deadpool, so I think we're gonna have to see it through as a trio.
Yeah, mate, get that
done, and then Deadpool 3.
Yes,
Deadpool hype train on the go. But no, it has been an absolute joy, Leigh. Thank you so much for being part of our Don't Be a Hero podcast for the week. An honorary Don't Be a Hero podcast member. I'm going to put this imaginary necklace, which would have a badge with our faces on it. And it's just been, and our brand, just to advertise ourselves, but also your face, Leigh.
I would wear that, and I would wear that partly into my next video. But no, thank you for having me, and I look forward to when you guys watch Black Panther, and then you can jump on an episode of my podcast, because I'm very interested to know what you guys are going to say.
Can't wait. Just out of interest, Leigh, could you just sort of give us one word reaction out of Wakanda Forever? Just so I'm just interested. Non-spoilery, obviously. What would you give it? What word would it be?
Oh, fuck. One word.
Wow.
Like
I was not the word
I was saying before, it's like it's fucking depressing at parts. I just almost like incredible. No, emotional. Emotional would be my key word on what Wakanda Forever, to sum that up.
I'll bring the tissue, Forrest.
Oh, lovely, mate, lovely. Anyway, I'll wrap this up for today. So goodbye, everybody. Good night.
Take care.
Good night
Goodbye,
from me,
everybody.
Forrest.
Oh, and goodbye from me, Matt. We've never done that before. Okay. Leigh? Goodbye from you.
Yeah, goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you.
A nice rehearsed
Goodbye, Leigh.
ending.
Yeah.